This is Michael Gerace with Michelangelo's Plumbing. It is July 7th, 2018, and we are at 6960 Woodlake Avenue, West Hills, California, performing a video sewer inspection through the 3-inch ABS mainline cleanout. We've run a preliminary inspection going out toward the street and also going back toward the house. A little difficult to get running up the line toward the house because we have an offset at the cast iron to ABS plastic transition. It's still in good condition. They're just difficult to get through sometimes because the pipe size is a little bit different, but it's in good condition going toward the house. Going out toward the street, we do have some cracks. We have some cracks and some breaks as well. So we're going to zero out our camera right now, and we're going to put our counter on. So we're zeroed out, and we've got our counter on right now. We're going to show the front of the house. This is going out to the street, and this is the front of the house. And you can see that it does say 6960 with the numbers on the wall of the house. So we're going to begin running through. We got ABS plastic piping, the mainline cleanout. I'm going to pause for a moment and just shut off the kitchen sink real quick so we can get a really good clear view of all the joints. We transition to vitreous clay out approximately 20 feet or so, and we've marked that area. We are at about 4 foot 1 inches deep, and then we continue with 4-inch vitreous clay out to the property line where we transition to 6-inch vitreous clay. So we're going to begin running now. The two 3-inch ABS mainline cleanouts are kind of backwards. The one that's closest to the street goes out to the street, and the one that's closest to the house goes to the house, which it should be reversed. The furthest one toward the street should go toward the house and vice versa, so you don't have a dead spot in the middle. But the likelihood of having a problem within that 1 foot area in between is very, very slim, pretty much like hitting the lottery. I don't foresee any real issues with it. Okay, we're running out through the ABS plastic. We've made a small turn, more than likely a 45-degree turn and 8th bend, and we're heading out our ABS plastic right now. Everything looks good here. The joints look good. A little overpour of glue right there in the joint in the ABS plastic, but that won't cause any harm. Next joint, got a little bit of a turn, got a little bit of a drop right here. More than likely it looks like an 8th bend going downward, and then we also have another 8th bend at the bottom of that drop, about another 1.5 feet down, and those joints look to be in good condition. Now we're flattening out and we're running out toward our clay, and we are at the ABS plastic to vitreous clay transition. We are at approximately 4 foot 1 inches deep, and we have marked that area with an orange flag. We go out toward the next joint, and we have a pretty severe break. As you can see, when we get close to it on the left hand side, about from, I would say, the 7 o'clock area going all the way up, we can't even see exactly how far it goes up. It can now. It's all the way over to about the 1 o'clock area, where you can see the break starts at about the 1 o'clock area and comes all the way around. You see where it starts right there. Now watch when I get closer, you'll see how cracked it is. You see that gap in it right there? It's got a pretty good gap. So that's broken pretty badly right there, all the way around. So if we get some good earth movement, that piece can just pop out of there, and it can sever the sewer line. So this is going from this point out, I believe, about another 10 feet. We'll run it. This area should be replaced. You've got that crack in that area. Now we're going to go out and we've got another crack in this area. Now right off to the left, right before the joint, you can see from somewhere around the 8 o'clock area to the 11 o'clock area, you've got a crack just before the joint off to the left. So that's another crack in the piping. Got another joint, and that joint looks to be in pretty good condition. We're going in a little bit further, making a slight turn, and we got a fairly large offset right here. We're actually hitting the face of this offset. Got an offset of about 3/4 of an inch of the pipe. As you can see at the top of the pipe, you don't see much of the face of the pipe on top. But on the bottom it's shifted where the piece that we're running through right now has actually dropped down. So we're seeing the whole face of the pipe at the bottom. And this appears to be the 4 to 6 inch transition. You can see when we get in, the piping is larger as we go through that area. And right here you can see. So we go from the 4 inch to the 6 inch. And then right past that area, you can see we have another large break. And that break goes from approximately from the 5 o'clock area to the 8 o'clock area. There's a chunk on the bottom that's just broken all the way around from the 5 o'clock area to the 8 o'clock area. And the piping does look like it has been hydrojetted. We've got buildup and we've got signs of debris and where root intrusion was in the joint. We had large root intrusion in probably a lot of these joints. And you can see the debris, the aftermath of the hydrojetting. So we can't tell how bad the root intrusion was on a lot of these joints. So we've marked those joints out. And we're going in, we've got another joint. Got a slight crack, not major, in the next joint. It's just starting to crack on two sides at about the 7 o'clock area and the 5 o'clock area in the pipe going up to this joint. But the joint doesn't look terrible right now. The joint's not broken, no major cracks in that joint. Then we got a pretty large offset in the next one, a little bit of an offset and a separation. Excuse me, you have a minor offset and a pretty good separation right there. Again, not terrible though. We don't have a major break in that joint, but we can see remnants from the hydrojetting where there was debris in the line. And then we have another separation at this joint. We're heading out. We are in the street right now. So we're in the street. We're in the 6 inch vitreous clay city lateral right now. That joint appears to be in fairly good condition. We have some minor cracking there, but very minor. We have some separation, a little bit of separation offset in that joint. Again, not terrible, but you can see where it appears that there was something maybe stuck to the pipe, and that is caused by root intrusion, and the roots stick to the pipe. When you hydrojet it, you don't get all that off of there a lot of times. And you can see it up by the 3 o'clock area where we have remnants of the root intrusion. Going out, we had more root intrusion here. As you can see, a lot of the remnants, a lot of debris stuck to the piping right there. That joint doesn't look terrible, and we don't always have to have major breaks or major cracks for roots to get in. And we have a pretty good offset at this joint, and we probably had a lot of root intrusion right in this area. As you can see, a lot of buildup and a lot of debris in this area right here stuck to the pipe. Keep running in. Right there, you can see where there was a lot stuck to the sides of that pipe right there. That joint does not appear to be in too bad a condition right there. Appears to be pretty tight. Don't see any major cracks. We only have a couple areas that we have major breaks and major cracks in the piping. That's got a pretty good separation right there and a whole lot of buildup right there as well. And that was where roots more than likely were stuck to the pipe from what we can see. We're going into the next joint, and same situation there. You can see where there was a lot of debris. You can see the discoloration around the joint. But the joint itself doesn't appear to be in terrible condition. A little bit of an offset, a little bit of separation. A little chasing a few critters. Now you can see here where there's a lot of cockroaches in that joint, and there's a separation in that joint, and more than likely that's where the roots were getting in. You can see the debris right there, and these cockroaches will scamper and they will get into the joints, and that's where the roots were coming through. And then we head out to our vitreous clay saddle area, and you can see right here that it's cracked pretty badly. We've got a crack coming in at about the 3 o'clock area in the joint, and that's cracked pretty bad right there. And that crack continues in. That crack continues in, and it continues almost all the way to the face of that saddle, but it also starts running upward. We can't see exactly where it goes as it's running upward because of the position of the camera in that turn. Difficult to tell, but it's cracked pretty badly, and this area needs to be either replaced or have a top hat liner installed. And it looks like we may have another crack coming across that fitting as well, down toward the saddle area, right off to the left. Right now is about the 7 o'clock area. You can see it. That crack may be going all the way around that saddle. We can't really tell, but it's intersecting with that other crack. And then we enter the city sewer. We're down into the city sewer at approximately 72 feet. 72 feet even. Right there is city sewer saddle. So we're going to begin pulling back. We've already looked at all the joints, so we're going to pull back a little bit quicker. We've marked all the areas out. We marked the area out at 72 feet at the city sewer saddle, at approximately 7 foot 1 inches deep. And as I said, I would recommend a top hat liner be installed in that area, and it wouldn't hurt to install a liner from the property line to the city sewer as well, and then you lap that top hat liner over it, because we do have some other areas. You do have a lot of debris at the joints. You have some separations, and you do have the remnants of what appears to be roots in the joints. And you would take care of two problems at one time if you line that area from the property line to the city sewer and then put the top hat liner in over the other one. Pulling back and coming back to the property line. We have that major break at the bottom, and then we have our 4 to 6 inch transition right here at the property line. Have a slight turn, and we're coming back toward our mainline cleanouts. And we have that major crack going all the way around the joint there, going all the way around the pipe. Now we're back into the ABS plastic and pulling back toward our mainline cleanouts, and we look to be in good condition. Coming back in the ABS plastic, we didn't have any major issues, didn't have any issues at all. No breaks, no offsets, no cracks in the pipe, no separations. We're going to pull back for a moment. We're going to try and finagle the camera up the line a little bit if we can. See if we can get through the cast iron again. Now we've run through the back clean out. This one is going toward the street, and this one is going toward the house. That's closest to the house. So we're going to run through this clean out real quick. And we've got ABS plastic. Then we transition to the cast iron. And the cast iron appears to be pretty clean, and it appears to be older cast iron. This is not newer cast iron. We don't have neoprene bands that we can see in here, and more than likely this has been hydrojetted as well at the same time that the vitreous clay was hydrojetted. The because the cast iron's pretty clean. And then we're going back. Got a little buildup right here though. We do have an issue where it's very restricted up underneath the house, right at the bathroom area. And you got some hair stuck in that area. Probably won't cause a problem. This is right by the toilet area. It's more the clean out. This is the end of the line, and that's the clean out underneath the house. That's the clean out cap. And we don't have any fittings right before that area. The fittings are after where that restriction is. So more than likely that area will not cause an issue. It's not something that I would worry about at this time. And we're pulling back toward our mainline cleanout. That's got a pretty large offset. You can see at the bottom, the piping, the cast iron is raised up off of the ABS plastic about 1.5 to 2 inches, where it is not lined up properly. Here's our pipe here and there's our pipe there. This should match down there. And the way that it's coming in from the house, at least it's dropping down into this area. Right. If it was reversed, you'd have major stoppages all the time. I don't know that I would do anything about it at this time because it's just not aligned in the coupling. If it doesn't cause problems, you can leave it alone, but if you have problems in the future, you'd have to just realign it. Nothing major. Just go under the house and realign that fitting. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection.